Hi, everybody. I hope you're all doing really well this Sunday. We are doing great, and we are ready to bring to you episode 8 of our Dragon Age story, All Templars Are Bastards. Um, Before we dive into our introductions, I will read out my obligatory content warning for you all. Uh, the world in which this game is set is known to many. It is a world where there are a great many injustices and wrongs which need fought against. As such, there are topics that will come up which include oppression, fantasy racism, prejudices against mages, and imbalances of power which can often become violent. We recognize that in telling the story of oppression and genocide against groups of people reflects the many tragic atrocities occurring in our world as we speak. While we feel that the stories of the fight against oppressive rule are important to tell, the health and happiness of our viewers are also crucial. As such, it is important that you all know the content of our story that we will be telling here so that you have the agency to choose either to watch along with us as we tell the story of a fight against such powers, but equally, you can turn off the story should you need to in order to preserve your own comfort. The group and I have discussed at great length our lines and veils when approaching this content. Active use of safety tools will be getting used, and we would urge you to also take care of your own comfort levels. That being said, let us now tell a story of hope in dire times, the fight for justice, and flirting. um, yeah. We're now going to introduce ourselves, who we are, who we will be playing, before we dive into the story. I will start us off. I am Emma, or Amalu on the internet. I can speak. And I am the storyteller. I play everybody that these guys do not. Introduce yourselves, everybody.
Hello, everyone. I am Torin, or Torin Talks Creativity. My pronouns are she, they. I am playing Genevieve Devereux, whose pronouns are she, her, and she is so ready for today. Yep, it's gonna be great.
Mm-hmm.
Hi guys, my name is Alice. They them pronouns. Today I am playing Florineus. Also they them pronouns. The Leighton necromancer. That this is gonna be a bad week, y'all. Just saying it.
I don't know what you mean.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mary. My pronouns are she, her. Today I'm going to be playing Eviana. Her pronouns are she, her. She's our little blood mage that has a hard time facing consequences of her actions. But we're going to do it today.
Hi, I'm Ella. My pronouns are she, her. I'm playing Maddie Hines. Her pronouns are also she, her. She's a spirit healer. She doesn't take a lot of shit. I, Ella, in real life, am very stressed about what is going to happen to the characters that are played by my fellow players because I care about them. And that was not an encouraging set of introductions. So I, Ella, am going into this game like a little stressed.
Yeah, you'll be fine. It's okay. We have you all. I'm sure everything about today will be wholesome and lovely and a good time. We're in the party city, aren't we, everyone? Party. Uh, to start off my little recap, I will read another excerpt from the Chant of Light. It's definitely not foreboding. Let the blade pass through the flesh. Let my blood touch the ground. Let my cries touch their hearts. Let mine be the last sacrifice. Last session, there was more bonding on the ship, including a touching conversation with a nervous elven mage. Crushes are revealed with the passing of notes. It's all very high school. The full consequences of which have not yet come to pass. Soon. The arrival in Wycombe saw the party strategize further, with goats now being involved, powered up by lyrium and some skeletons to add to the spooky, blight-fueled nightmare that they want to bring to the Templar stronghold. Will that come to pass? That remains to be seen. With the promise of the party town, the group gathers some intel, and this fact finding mission presents some stumbling blocks in their way that seems to be preventing the actual partying. Harry and Jen do some expert levels of deception, seemingly flirting with one another to get close to a pair of elves who seem to be talking about the stronghold and being willing to do anything to achieve their goals. Fleur also spots a face known to them, a person they may have thought they would never see again. Someone who apparently has come to take them home to Deventer. I'm sure everything is fine there, right? So, with curious elves to follow and approach, hopefully, a heist to plan, a ghost from the past to deal with, and maybe even a party to be had, we have quite a lot to do. So, we're first going to check in with Genevieve. You are going to be heading towards the Rookery, a place where notes from ravens can be picked up or sent. Information gatherers tend to linger to pick up secrets. How would you like to approach this moment? You do also have Harry still in tow with you. He's mostly, rather than looking where you're looking, is keeping an eye behind you guys to the location where you left those two elves talking.
Yes. So, would definitely like to whisper to Hari, just keep an eye on them. If especially that one elf, that the woman that mentioned she would do anything, that
Mm.
one breaks away. Genevieve definitely wants the chance to bump into her. And drop some hints. Now I have a question.
Mm.
Would is it common for the Choir of the Silence to send like messages via like writing people's names down, like organization, like what
Mm.
without being arousing suspicion? Yeah.
Yeah. I imagine they would probably have your name. It's up to you all if you have a code name that you prefer them to use, but otherwise they would just use your name, certainly the first name.
Yeah.
Um, the message within might be somewhat coded. Anything that feels like it is sensitive or could be sensitive will be either alluded to or, um, they won't give too much away in a small raven note.
Yeah.
So it's up to
Um
you how comfortable you feel. If you ever would have told them, if you're going to be writing notes to me, here's the name to use.
yeah. Genevieve, as we've established, doesn't know how to stealth and
Mm.
is very anti-rogue in this manner. So she definitely would have been like, just use my name. It'll be fine. And with a flourish, go in and just uh
Hmm.
hello. Oh, bless you. No, you're so
Bless.
sneezy.
Oh.
Sorry, there's I found your cat. It's so sneezy. Uh walk into the rookery and just whoever I can find to hello. Do you have messages for me? And then, my name is
Hmm.
Genevieve Devereaux.
Hmm.
And then while
Um,
I'm there, if
yeah.
possible, I do want to keep an eye out for anything mentioning like Ferelden circle, anything of that nature.
Hmm. Okay. So they're gonna go and look through the things that have arrived to see if anything is by that name. While they're doing that, can you roll me? It's gonna be within the perception family. If you have a focus that you feel applies, knock yourself out.
I have searching, but I kind
Okay.
of doubt
Is
it.
it?
I
Oh,
don't know.
apparently I closed the roll. I did have it open earlier.
Well,
hold,
no.
hold, please. I know what
uh,
I'm doing.
you tell me with searching. Can I
Yeah,
parlay for that? Okay.
I would, yeah, I'll allow it. I'm always
Thank
open.
you.
Yeah,
14?
monitoring. Yeah. Um, you become aware of two people. It is a human woman and an elven man who are speaking relatively quietly, not in the conspiratorially like trying to like keep things hushed in a keeping secret way, but just quiet with passing crowds, and you can hear them speculating, I will say, and talking about things that they've managed to hear being spoken about, and anything that is being read. When people think that they're done with a bit of note, and either leave it, drop it, try to put it in a bin somewhere. And these people make very good business of finding out what other people's notes are saying. You've dealt with these sorts of people in countless cities before. They are very good at finding out information that shouldn't necessarily be for your ears, but is what's going on around about. Um, and you do hear them speaking about Ferelden and the word rebels. So they're not necessarily dropping circle and they're not dropping mages. They're talking about rebels moving around Ferelden, and that it's very curious. Um, and then the woman is like, I never would have banked that as being the outcome of this situation. It's quite unusual, unexpected, not a bad thing, and they're just like
Do
they're
I
chatting.
can they usually be bought in some way for
Oh, yeah,
information?
yeah.
Yeah, so
Either
how they make money.
give them information, give them money, give them something. It's a it's a business.
Mhm. Um, while the clerk person is still kind of
Mhm,
rummaging, uh, I think Genevieve, she has a few like leftover vestiges of her family.
mhm.
Um, not much. Like she wears like real gold necklace and two rings. And I think she'll slip off one of them and just uh oh, is there interesting information going on? And then I think she'll like even kind of let out her hand like, "My name is Genevieve. It's nice to meet you." And like have the ring in there to, you know, pass off.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She will reach her hand out to like shake your hand, feel that the thing is there. There's no note on her face other than the slight quirk of an eyebrow as it is slipped out of your hand after a brief shake. It's very nice to meet you. I'm Eleanor.
Eleanor, it's very nice to
Mm.
meet you. Uh, I'm waiting for something, maybe juicy, but what were you mentioning about rebels? It sounds so exciting.
Mm. It certainly could be for the right price.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's still trying to get more money. Um,
Mm. It's how badly do you want it? And you can tell that she's moving her hand around like she's turning the ring around. She's not gonna look at it because this could
mhm.
just be a bit of brass. So it's like she's trying to inspect what she can without dropping her eye contact from you.
Yeah, because I think she's gonna be like, just give it a second. I think you can think of the price. And like intimating basically like that's real gold.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Um,
like bend it a
mhm.
little bit and see how it gives, like
So she'll slip
because she
it
does it.
onto one finger so that she can then look like she's checking her nails in her hand and then be
Mhm.
like, "Mm, mm." So you want to know about Ferelden?
Yes, especially these rebels. I mean, goodness, everything is in chaos right now. And I
It
was thinking
is.
about going to Florida, but maybe that's a bad idea.
Oh, well, it depends who you're traveling with, I suppose. And she kind of looks over her shoulders a little bit and then will indicate to like slip off and around the corner slightly with her, um, so that you're slightly off the street a little.
Hmm. I'm gonna look back. Is the guy back with any information for me?
Eventually, they will kind of come back and will hand out a small slip of paper from you. This appears to be from uh, your group from the choir.
Okay. I think I'll go grab it and immediately not gonna look at it, just slip it in my armor.
Hmm.
So if someone tried to take it from me, I would know it.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
um, oh, well, I think I have some time. Holly, my love, just let me know if our friend comes back, okay? I'll be right back.
Okay, and he does that posting up. He does the hot boy lean on a pillar
Ah,
as he just keeps watching the venue.
she walks away with this strange woman. I think she's just like, oh, stop it. I can't leave when you do this.
It
I'll
looks
be
like
right
the
back.
elf that was with this woman is appreciating the view, and you'll be like, "I'll just stay here." Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's okay. I totally understand. Trust me, I do it all the time.
Mm, mhm,
Walk away
mhm.
with a strange woman.
Um, but she will lead you into a corner and do another quick check just to see who's looking around.
I will check as well.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I'm assuming perception.
Yes, you can do another searcher roll.
Can I do searching? Okay.
I'll let you add a +2 because she's. You don't need it, girl.
Oh my
Wow.
god. That's a 25.
That's a 25. That was 3 sixes. You could not possibly have perfected that any better than you
This
currently did.
game
You're
loves me
aware of
right now. Thank
every
you.
single person in the whole city
And the
all at
mouse.
once. Yeah.
Uh
What I will say is a couple things. to honor the fact that you got six stunts as well. That's essentially like a super uber duper crit. There's definitely nobody listening. You also will become aware of the elves leaving. Should you need to. So you don't have to necessarily rely on Harry, although sure he's
And I
doing
have to
okay.
chase him right now.
Yeah. And if you need to pursue in any way, we can roll this as like a +1 forward in a way, like certain game systems, in that you will have an advantageous position should you go and approach the elves later.
Yes.
You're just very aware of your surroundings.
We'll do that, yeah.
Okay.
Can I bargain a little bit and just can I get a feel for her in this moment too?
Absolutely.
Like how sneaky, backstabby, just
mhm.
anything I can pick up about her as well.
Vibe checking the room, you get the idea that you've met information brokers like her before. Information is their bread and butter. They tend not to be affiliated with certain organizations or certain sides of things as much as possible.
Yeah.
They're often peripheral to be, as non-biased as possible in their information gathering. This does mean the information you give them is also up for grabs for price with other people. But she seems, this type of person, you're not likely to get any sort of like dodgy dealing or bad information, because if you start dishing out bad information, that's bad on your rep as an information broker.
Yeah. That
So,
and I guess I just want vibes of, is she the type of information broker that would sell out people based on information she gets? You know what I mean? Like
yeah, well, yeah, I guess
would
it's
she make a
the
side house
yes.
coin on that? Yeah.
What
Okay.
you give her, you're gonna have to be mindful about what you give her,
Yeah,
knowing
yeah.
that if somebody was to come and offer a good price, she may then pass
She
that
would
on.
sell it. Yeah.
You
Okay.
know that. But that just
Gotcha.
means you just need to be aware of your in this situation. You're not necessarily talking to an ally, but you are talking to someone who is a reliable source of information.
Yeah.
In that
Okay.
what she's
Gotcha.
about to say is probably true. So, rebels in Ferelden. Yes, there's some interesting information coming out of that place. Interesting information everywhere, of course.
Of course. Mhm.
You know of the rebels that I speak? How much do you already know? I'd hate to cover the same ground.
Admittedly, probably not much. I've been spending a lot of time in Cockrell.
Oh,
Yes.
ground zero for the rebellion.
Yes, it's been explosive, as they say.
I shouldn't laugh.
Yeah,
But
no, I got you. Yeah.
I understand. Okay, well, things have taken a turn for the worse there, as it has everywhere with the circles. But the information we got, and what I will pass on for a fair deal for, and you'll see her like checking out her hands, which is looking at the ring, a fair bit of information.
Okay.
A large amount of the rebels in Ferelden have been offered safe haven in the town of Redcliffe by order of King Alistair Theron. The king himself has offered them safety.
I'm honestly surprised.
Mhm.
But well, maybe given his history, maybe that's not that surprising.
He is kind of a golden retriever, really, but
And his affiliation with, the hero. Makes sense.
yeah. So there's that. Others, like from other circles, there are some who are gathering in a more, we want our circles back. And they're gathering with other mages and Templars who have not gone a bit wild.
Okay, one more time. I'm so sorry, my headphones cut out.
Oh,
But
that's okay. There are some mages who are gathering with other mages and some Templars who have not gone a bit wild. Waiting for order to prevail.
Do you happen to know where they are?
No, but I'm hoping to soon.
Hmm. Interesting.
Probably to the west, though, I imagine.
Right. So, and last question, because I know I've already bought much of your time.
Hmm.
The safe haven with those rebels, any idea where they came from?
I imagine from Ferelden.
And I
I
think
mean,
for one of the first times, Genevieve is not like, you know,
yeah.
interesting.
Hmm.
I do. Hmm. Okay. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. So, enjoy.
As she's walking out of the corner alleyway kind of thing, just,
Mm-hmm.
oh, it was so good to catch up with you. It's been so long. I will find you maybe one more time before we leave.
Till we meet again.
Au revoir. And then she will kind of shake it off a little bit. Just
Mm-hmm.
uh, and look at Hari and just motion like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
is
as
he
you're kind
there?
of as you're going over to Harry is there, and it's like he's turning his head like he's about to tell you, but you already see the fact that those two elves have now left that location, and you can see them sort of like passing by through some crowd, heading off to your left, closer into the town center.
She'll grab Hari's arm and just, oh, my dear, I know that we have a lot of things to do, but I really think that we should go check out that store. It has been so long, and it's right over here, motioning to the Elven dispatch shop.
Yeah. More shopping.
I know, I'm so sorry, but it will be worth it, I promise.
Well, you say that, and then I just have to carry lots of bags, and you know I don't like
But you're so handsome when you do it. Oh,
that. Yeah.
and then are the two elves traveling together?
Yes. Heading in towards the town square. And as you consider how you want to approach them, we are going to pan away for a moment. Now, Aviana and Flora, the pair of you are coming away from that situation. Where is it that you are heading?
I think Aviana would be trying to get Floor to a safe, more secluded place so they can
Mhm.
explain what's going on. But uh, if the tavern is closer, she'll go there or try to find alleyway. Something away is what
Mhm.
Aviana's trying to do.
Okay. You definitely have options. I mean, you're not going to be hugely far from the location where your room is, if that is what you would like. But equally, there are a lot of little side streets, small businesses. Head towards the outskirts. It's up to you, but it depends what you would classify as safe.
Um, I guess I'd probably tend closer to the tavern where we could possibly go into a
Mm-hmm.
room than out in the open.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, you guys can definitely head that way. Are you just going to comply with it and let yourself be led, Flora?
I think right now, yeah.
Mm, yeah, just disassociating slightly. Okay. So you can definitely head in that direction. Now within that building, I reckon Matty may still be there. I know you were going to go and do your, you know, cerebro thing. However,
Rally.
have you started doing that yet, or are you currently up to something in the Templar with the others? Because you have the various other NPCs that you guys brought.
Antagonize the men.
Well, yeah, I Exactly. Like I want to bully the boys first,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll go do more serious stuff.
Okay.
But just to get myself in the mood.
Yeah.
Um, so what I'm thinking is like like Magic Mike. Like I'm kind of thinking in the direction of like we said that we're gonna make them like goat herders, right?
Yes.
And what I want to do is get them in kind of like sheepskin like vests, but nothing underneath, and then like just grease all over like the chests and arms and stuff, and they're just like those like medieval like kind of troubadour like short booty shorts kind of things, and then kind of like gladiator sandals, and it's going to be ridiculous and really over the top. And then what I want to do at some point is arrange so it's just the two of them in a room with Aviana and Jen, and then so that they can plan the tricks, and then I'm just gonna accidentally lock the door. Is
Okay.
my plan.
I mean, the outfits are definitely. Are we basically? It is if there was a Kendall that was a sheep herder, is what we're going for here.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Only like if it was like an R-rated Kendall.
Yeah.
This is not an OnlyFans stream, so I can't describe it in too
And
much
yet,
detail. But
we
um,
can all picture in our mind palace exactly what the fuck is going on here. Yeah. Okay. Um, you can hand over some outfits for them to go and try on. uh,
I, I think like I am also gonna be just extremely blunt. So I'm just gonna take them aside,
mm.
and I'm gonna just kind of like scowling because I'm always scowling. I'm just gonna kind of be like, okay, just gonna explain a couple of things. First of all, in answer to the question that you have never asked, yes, in the circle, we fuck. We fuck all the time. Everyone fucks everyone in so many different ways. I know sexual positions that you have not imagined in your wildest dreams. I know things that would put a Tevinter to shame. So, within that context, uh, you two need to fuck. And you have willing and consensual participants, and this is boring. So, what I suggest is you just take your clothes off and just see how long it takes. Seriously, I am more experienced than both of you. Just get laid. All right? Cool, great, fantastic. Thanks. And then she's just gonna shove them into a room to get changed.
I feel like perhaps there is a couple points at which Reagan wants to like interject with a comment, but like holds his tongue with it. And then at the end, it's just a little too flabbergasted to even say anything in response to that. And it's just like, right. And just grabs the clothes and marches off. Griffin looks a little stunned as well. He isn't sure what just happened to him. Um, because something definitely happened to him there, and he's trying to figure out what.
If Griffin is stunned after Reagan, then
Yeah.
like Maddie will just give him wink and be like, "Listen, if you end up doing the joining, you gotta get your warm ups for that ward and stamina in now." Uh,
Uh, okay, that I don't think that's.
oh, it is a thing. Trust me.
That's not what I was going to say. Okay, you. Okay, I don't know how to feel about this.
Go get changed. Go get changed.
Is there more?
No, you don't need more. You'll be fine. I assume you have body hair.
Yes, I do have body hair. Thank you.
Great.
But
Fantastic. Go get changed. Shoo.
just wanders off quietly. Craig is sitting like he was in because you guys have like it's fairly big shared rooms that you guys have been in and has been sat kind of like in the back in a corner, like was halfway through eating some noodles and has just been sat like frozen in place watching this happen and is just like oh.
I mean, if I turn around and see Craig, I just like look at him and just like very much like kind of the Katara, like I just like say, I've got my eye on you,
Immediately,
and I just leave.
as soon as your face starts to turn in his direction, he will avert his eyes. He doesn't like making eye contact with you. Okay, yep.
Yeah, correct. Good.
Okay. So that has happened. And as a complete tone shift, because that, it feels like this scene needs that. That would be about the time that Aviana and Flora are going to arrive. You manage to make your way in. You can get your way up to the room pretty easily, Aviana, and you can head inside the room. There's like a strange energy to the room. Currently, there is only Matty and Craig in there, and Craig is looking down at a bowl of noodles, quietly hunched in a corner eating. Matty, I'm assuming, is looking a little pleased with yourself, but there's an interesting blend. Like when oil and water things not quite meeting the things that cause thunderstorms. There's an interesting energy as the three of you look upon each other.
I'm gonna kind of sit Floor down. I'm gonna go about making some tea, uh, and just kind of give the nod to Maddie of like, come here, please.
I come over actually like I think like Maddie like I is I honestly think actually Maddie like looks pretty deadpan, but as
Mhm.
soon as she sees Floor and Ariana coming in, she kind of marches over to Floor. Is Floor standing or sitting?
I think if Aviana sat them down.
Yeah. I just wanted to check if they allowed themselves to be sat. Sorry. Yeah, if Floor is sitting, then Maddie sits down next to Floor. And like I'm really bad at perception. Can I do like a magic vibe check?
Yes,
Can I use hope?
sure.
Like I was gonna say, can I roll to
Yeah,
see if they're okay? But I feel like I'm gonna be better off just being
yeah.
like feeling the magic.
I'd like to think that it's more
Uh
you sit down and you're like, I know I should be trying to read this situation emotionally, but I'm not good at that. And you're gonna be like, I know someone who is good at that though. Hope, can you hope? I need help.
Yeah, no, straight up, genuinely. I think it's just like Maddie's like, something's off, and like looks at Floor, does not know Floor well enough to read their expression. It's like, hope, what the fuck is going on with them? It's just like, hopefully,
Yeah,
that,
that's
no, this is
very
okay.
good.
Yeah, that's a 17.
That is very good.
Um,
17 and a 6 point
with six
stun.
of
Oof.
points.
Yeah, you get an emotional read on the pair of them. I would like the two of you to describe the sort of top flavor notes emotionally of what Flor and Aviana are currently feeling. You're gonna get the whole room. You're also getting slight vague pings of Craig in the corner. He's like exceptionally awkward, but also really amused. He is impressed. There's,
Craig
clearly
enjoys the show as well.
liked watching you do that to them. And it's like, that was great. But yes, if the two of you could just describe what is being felt.
Um, Aviana is in fix it mode. Um, I think there's definitely like how the magic is like kind of spinning around her. There's a lot of ebb and flow, and like you can see like changes being made and just like this constant thinking, while also there's a very protective energy coming from Aviana, probably towards Floor.
I think Floor is probably a little blank on the outside, very 100-yard stare, just not content with being treated like this, but not also registering it. Internally, it's like sitting in the middle of like a hurricane where nothing just like sits long enough to register, but it's still all there and it's just consuming and drowning. And it's guilt and fear and shock and a little bit of anger, and they shouldn't be happy, but they're happy, and they're not happy, and they're scared and
Yeah. It's a lot, Matthew.
So I think with yeah, like I think with all of that, Maddie just sits down next to Floor, gives them like a very hard stare, and Maddie has these like, brown eyes that are such dark brown that they're almost black kind of thing. And just gives Floor a very hard stare and then is like, what the fuck happened?
someone that should be dead is not dead.
Is this someone we need to make dead?
No, no. They should be dead, and it's the fact that they're not dead is not good. Not like that. It would probably be better if they were dead than that.
Okay. Are we talking abomination, slave, demon?
Fine, slave family. Someone my family owns. Fuck, technically someone I own, and someone that should be dead. I left him and he should be dead, not be with them.
Why should he be dead?
There are ways to make that, at least make it so there was just one guard.
Aviana. The last time I saw him, there was no guard in my family there. There was a group of Templars. Eh, by all accounts, he should be dead. I don't know how he is back there. The only reason I am alive is my fucking family name.
I get it.
A lot easier to beg for freedom when you're a Teventer magistrate's child than an elven apostate.
So what do we do?
I'm sorry, I feel out of the loop, and just before we figure out what we do, I think I need to figure out what has been done. So, Floor, you and this person ran away together, came to Southern Thedas, were accosted by Templars, and then you were able to escape on the basis of your name, but he was not, and he is also a mage. Is that the situation?
No.
Okay.
I know I am not a good person in this. I am not a nice, kind person. I have never claimed to be. And you're there to remind me, Maddie, that yes, I was a privileged child of the Tvinter Imperium, a magistrate's child. And like every magistrate and hell, every fucking noble in Thetis, my privilege was built on the labor of other people. And yeah, I was fucking naive. Probably to the point of ignorance, because you know what? Yeah, I did not question it. I thought it was fine because everyone around me told me it was fine. And my family was one of the good ones because we did not treat our slaves bad. We did not use them in blood magic or harm them unfairly. And yes, I can't make excuses for that because I thought it was fine. And I thought, like a lot of people in the Imperium, that it was fine. And it's not, and I did not realize that. And I know it is easy to paint everyone into Ventur as monsters. And my family is. And honestly, in another world, I am too. This all happened because my family, I'm not the normal one. I'm the odd one out that talked a little bit too much to the slaves, held the company of dead things just a little too much. And it made things like arranging a suitor to be almost impossible. And I would have been fine teaching in a circle or something what happens when you can't marry your children off. But my parents, they thought it would help to send me away to show me how much of a good life I had inside of their home on their estate, that I see 1 acre of the land outside of the Imperium and I would come back running. Or better yet, that I would not come back at all. Their weird little mage child. And I don't think I'm saying anything you don't know when this place is dangerous for mages. And I was 19 and that they sent Quintus with me. And by all accounts, he should have left me. He should have ran the moment he saw freedom. And I don't know why he didn't. He is a better person than I could ever be. And if it wasn't for him taking pity on me or whatever he wants to call it, I would have been the one that should have been trapped in a circle somewhere, one of your fucking circles, or dead in a ditch. Because I was a very privileged, naive, spoiled fucking child in a place where magic that I took for granted and took for privilege was illegal. And yes, I learned and I realized just how bad things are for people inside the country I was born in, even. And the worst of it was, yes, I was an idiot for not realizing it. And even traveling, I was stupid and I made mistakes. And we were in the fucking Anderfels in some little town out in the middle of nowhere. And some Templars saw both of us using magic to escape some robbers. And yes, I I watched as they took him in and took him who knows where. I thought he was going to his death. And I didn't do anything. I was a coward and I took myself and ran. I let my title, my name, scrape my freedom out of there and I left him behind. And I know there is no justifying or forgiving who I am, who I've been, and who I will continue to be. And I don't try and play the good to vent. I don't try and be one of the good ones in the faces of everyone because no matter what, I have to put everything into being one of the good ones. Because the moment I don't, I'm one of the ones that I'm just another bad to venter. And this is just another where I am a bad to venter. I didn't try to even save him or go after him. And now I don't know why, but they gave him back to my fucking family and he's here. And they want me back for who knows what.
I think Maddie sits forward and doesn't breach Floor's personal space, but like is close to them and looks them in the eye. You were 19. You were 19. You were a kid. You might not have thought you were a kid at the time, but you were a kid. You have no control over how you're born or where you're born. You had no more choice in whether you were born into a wealthy Tevinter family than if you were born into a poor Antivan one. You had no choice to have magic. The difference between us and spirits and demons, as I'm sure you know, I imagine your education was better than mine, is that spirits and demons and all denizens of the Fade live in an eternal continuity. They can't change. And when they start to change, they become more complex. They become different to the native denizens of the Fade. We change all the time. Every second. My skin is losing pieces. My hair is falling out. I am breathing and taking in smoke. I smell. I'm sweating. I bleed. I digest things. Everything about me changes all the time. And my mind, my knowledge, my personality changes too. Every day I learn things I didn't know before. I see faces I hadn't seen before. I hear voices I hadn't heard. Floor, I am not going to lie to you. Tevinter is built on violence as much as the rest of Thedas is. But there is no such thing, in my opinion, as an evil person or an evil culture. Only evil actions. And you have a choice from one step to the next as to what your actions will be. When I lived in my circle, I fucked up, and my friends were made tranquil. And in the circle, we use the tranquil as slaves, essentially. They're beaten. They're often forgotten. People forget to feed them. They are. They suffer worse things than that because they don't know how to refuse. You'll wake up in the morning to my friend who I used to flirt with and play with and braid her hair, and she's on her hands and knees, and her hands are burning with cleaning chemicals, and she isn't even flinching, and she has bruises, and I don't know where they came from. And I don't want to ask because it's uncomfortable, because I don't like looking at the walking corpse of her. We all do bad things, and we all fuck up. And you were a kid. And as for whether you're spoiled, I have met spoiled people, mostly all Asians. And a lot of people in the circle have shitty parents. A lot of people in the circle, their parents sent them to the circle because they were scared. People who would be beaten or alienated or whatever. I have talked to so many people who have had such awful families. And I can assure you that a family who would have you die at 19 on the roads in some strange place and sent to worse than that because God, well, Maker knows, rumors of what happens in our circle must reach even to Vinter ears. Parents who would do that, I don't think they spoiled you. I think you were a prisoner of a violent and frightening country and a violent and frightening family. And when something awful happened, you stayed alive, which is what most people would do. And since, at least for me, Andraste moves in strange ways, you have survived now so that you may swing your sword again and act differently this time. We can get him back. You have allies now. You're not a child anymore. And you don't have to be held accountable for things you could not control and the pain that you have suffered. Your only choice, my only choice, at least the way I see the world, is how I act next. You are not obliged to complete the work, but neither are you free to abandon it. That's all.
I know. I'm not in the habit of abandoning people anymore. And it's just, it shouldn't be happening. And the fact that my family was able to trace me this far is a very dangerous thing, Maddie.
It is terrifying, I agree. Fortunately, we are part of a spy network, and we can and will take measures. We know now. We can respond. It's better to know than to not know. If they were chasing you and they were this close and you had no idea, that would be worse. You're right to be scared. You are not just going to stop feeling this. And if you want to set things on fire, there's a bunch of stuff that we need to break. So, also, hey, listen, I personally love a little bit of smashing shit. You're not just going to feel calm about this. And you don't have to agree with me. But I will insist on protecting you and being there for you. Despite the fact that I imagine you are going to kick and scream about that just a little bit because you have been taught and told and shown for far, far too long that the act of others being kind to you is somehow a sin.
I suppose somewhere playing in your mind, Flora. It's troubling that they're here. Whether they knew you were here specifically, he seemed surprised to have stumbled over you, but did seem to be looking for you. Two things to consider. They sent him as part of a group to bring you back. And somehow they managed to get him back from whatever that fate had been. Troubling things to consider. Now, I'm just going to pull us away from that just for a second. Genevieve, the two elves that you had been tailing, they are going to go into a smaller inn than the one that you're staying at, but it is actually in the same sort of area. It's towards the edge of the town, as is quite common with big inns, because people who are traveling in and out of a city center, it's just easier to have it there, a little closer to where stables are and what have you. So they seem to duck into there. Harry will lock eyes with you. Are we going to tell them down to get information, or do you need the others?
To be honest, I was hoping that we could bump into them. Oh no, you're okay. And then somehow convince them to talk to us. And maybe come back to meet the others. What do you think?
Sure. Let's go
Am
in
I
and
late?
bump into them.
Okay.
Mm.
We can do it.
Okay.
So yeah, if we can get physically closer under the guise of, oh, where was that store? I really wanted to show you this nice, lovely candlestick. I think it will go great in our house. You know, that kind of bullshit.
Mhm.
If I can somehow, because okay, so Genevieve is about like 5'8". She's actually, or 5'5", but she's not small. Like
Mm.
she's got some heft to her. What is like the overall, are these elves lithe? Are they,
Mhm. Slender.
Okay.
They're not by any means bulky. Elves in this universe are smaller than humans. The frame is smaller. Even just looking at skeletons, you can tell what you're looking at a lot of times if you know what you're looking for.
Gotcha.
Even just down to like shoulders, ribcage, everything just is narrower in structure and slighter. Even their warriors are not often built as like hench. They can be real strong, but
not
they
Halt an elf, but
yeah. We're going like it's more dance or swimmer bod than it is like big build,
Gotcha. Yeah.
I'm sure there
Ballerina.
are some people out there who are outliers, but as a general rule. But these two don't appear to be of a warrior's build.
Gotcha. So I will, as close as I possibly can. I'm literally going to try to physically bump into this woman.
Okay.
As
But I
deceptively
think
as possible as an accident.
yeah, if you want, if you're teaming up, I think Harry will help if you allow. Where
Absolutely.
as you're walking, it's like you're clearly calculating, trying to figure out how am I going to bump which angle, where could I go? He is gonna hoop his foot into
Yep.
yours, like quite literally try to trip you up. As you're sailing towards him, he's gonna grab at one of your hands and like catch you in a careful there, you nearly fell, even though he is the one that absolutely tripped you up.
But like,
so
I
that you
use
clatter
the
into them,
uppy
but he's
hand.
like holding your yeah.
Yeah, like the whole like, "Oh, no," but also, like, grab her to be, like,
Yeah.
stabilize, you know? Like,
Okay.
oh, I don't know if you want me to roll for that because I can make it as flourishing and dramatic
Sure.
as you wish.
There are several skills you could apply to this. We could be going down the
Uh,
dexterity route. You could be doing a performance here. You could do all
oh,
sorts of things. What do you think you would apply skill-wise to what you're doing?
ooh. Absolutely would probably do it in a more cunning way. I'll admit though, I don't have any special skills in that ability. I
That's
have
okay.
heraldry, navigation, and military lore,
Okay.
so I
So
could only be like
either
maybe navigating through this crowd.
I would say you're either going a dexterity route with this,
Okay.
or you could go the communication route, and that you're just letting your body do what it's going to do, because anyone could be tripping and falling here and like catching on to
Could
someone.
yeah.
The act of performing in a oh, I'm so sorry, like acting shot.
Sorry.
So you can
Yeah.
focus on your dexterity in this moment to do it in as swift and easy way as possible, or focus on the performance of playing the part. It is up to
Would
you.
you allow me to do persuasion in
Yeah,
this moment? Yeah.
absolutely.
Like, I am just so clumsy. Oh no, how
Yeah.
did I fall? Oh, but I'm still elegant. 18.
Yeah. You go clattering into this woman and sort of catch her on the side, and she puts her other hand on him, and some things that you will know, because you're, if anything, built more for observational rather than you are you know
Yeah.
yeah,
I was like,
other forms of
Genevieve's
being a
not a
rogue.
dancer, okay?
Yeah.
Like,
She instinctively, her hand seems to go to her hip, and you realize that on her hand is probably a fairly narrow but hilt of a weapon as you
got
suddenly
it.
grab onto her.
Mhm.
But we'll kind of look you over, playing the part of like, I'm so sorry.
I'm
And
so
Harry
sorry.
also will go into the, oh, got you, like playing the part. The two of you are hamming it up. Um,
Mhm.
and what you see is, just describe again, she is a small, petite framed elf. She has dark hair pulled up into a ponytail, but it's very long hair. Is wearing an armor set. It is not necessarily the expensive kind. It's not carrying any specific marks, but it is armor nonetheless that
Mm.
she is wearing. The
And a knife.
yes, and a knife. Now that you can kind of see it, it wasn't so obvious necessarily when you saw her before, but you saw her reaching for that, and there's no mistaking what that was.
Yeah.
And the male she is with has long dark hair that is kept down, and is wearing what looks more like refined in a way, not like nobility refined, but like well dressed for a city elf. We'll
Mm.
call it that. um and she kind of looks your way, scowls a little at first, and then like looks between the two of you a little confused, and seems to buy into the act of, I'm so sorry, I totally
Perfect.
fell into you there.
Yeah. Like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? I have
I'm
such big feet. I never can actually do this light in big clouds. I'm so sorry." Yeah, she
just
actually
look
does
at
have
your
big
feet.
feet.
She's like,
She canonically has
okay,
big feet for the
yeah,
record in my head.
okay,
Um,
yeah.
uh, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and, like, "I don't you were covered in dust. I apologize. Are
Oh,
you okay?"
I'm fine. Thank you. I've been covered in worse.
Uh, what do you do? Never mind. Sorry, me and my boyfriend here, we were just going to go look around the shops and everything, and I just got so excited. You know how you look one way and then you fall the other?
Mhm.
Maybe not. You look much more graceful than me. Anyway, um, my name is
She
Jen. I'm so sorry. What is
she's
yours?
looking at you like flabbergasted at you having this conversation with her. It's
Yeah,
up to you. Would you like to roll an insight check?
absolutely, I would.
Okay.
What does that fall under?
That is a perception
Okay.
empathy is what it is called.
Heck
Also, hi
yes.
Raiders. I don't know when you came in. I had other tabs
Hello,
open.
Raiders.
Hi.
Just now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Whoa.
20 is what is
20.
my bread and butter, babies.
Yeah. You know enough about society, how it works, how you as a person will be received by different groups of people, because that is important, because it lets you know how to sell yourself. The fact that you, on our Legion human woman, is having this very apologetic conversation with a city elf somewhere is
Yeah.
like sh- this is not what she would have expected. It's not in a like disgust or like unhappy or upset. It's just of all the things on her bingo card of what would have happened to her today, an
Was
Arlesian human
not
woman
there.
being nice and like apologetic for bumping into her is like, are you okay?
Yep.
um
Oh.
uh okay. Well, apology accepted.
Oh, good. You know, I was even going to offer if you needed anything, or maybe did you need a drink or anything? Maybe a bus? Because I just
I'm
bumped into you. I'm so sorry.
fine. It's okay. You don't these things happen.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Hmm.
She look at the mat. She's still holding on to his
See,
arm
yeah,
at
yeah.
the moment while she's looking up at you. Um
Um, I think she like because basically Genevieve just wanted to get close, like as proximity
uh-huh.
as she could,
Uh-huh.
and I think she kind of leans in and just, I think you should take me up on it, and not in a threatening way, but a like because I know that
Okay.
can sound very
It,
freaking threatening, but
yeah,
like in
you know what?
a
You
yeah.
you rolled so well with your persuasion roll. I'm gonna let that ride with this. Plus I was gonna give you your +1 forward of like you critted earlier and
Oh yeah,
into the next
thanks.
scene that there's gonna be a benefit. She's gonna be like, okay. Drink. Sure.
She'll then back up and just be like, "Oh, you know, I'm so new to this area. You seem like you're from here. Where could we get a nice, just quiet place to sit? And please tell me everywhere I should go."
Well, there's a couple places around here for drinks.
Perfect.
Okay. We're s- mm, where are you staying?
I was just about to tell you, and I'll motion to like the area that we're going.
Uh-huh. Which
So
is
this
it's literally just like over the road. You know how in
yeah.
cities, even it still tracks to this day, everybody. I'm sure we can agree. In your cities where they're like just the place where hotels congregate.
Mm-hmm.
You get areas where there's just like a bunch of them. Okay, we can go there. And she looks up at the guy and he's just like, yep.
Excellent. And she's just going to literally like play into that and just grab them both.
Okay.
Like, come on. Oh, my love, come follow me. We have met new friends. Grab Hari as well.
Yeah. Harry looks between the two of them, and you will notice you haven't worked this way or this closely with Harry. It turns out you two of you work really well. You're like, you know what? I appreciate your skill set, sir. Um uh he has taken very much a not a huge physical step back, but was not present in your conversation with him because he is aware he very much looks like he's
Yeah.
from the Imperium,
Yeah.
and so knows that that can carry weight in conversations, particularly with city elves. So he was like, "I
Mhm.
am not going to get in the way of that," but he will
Oh,
follow you
yeah,
as
no, he
you,
got grabbed.
yeah.
Yeet.
So you guys can all head in. So now you guys are in the sort of entry level, and down where there is a, it's not exactly like a tavern,
Yeah.
but there is a bar that is attached to an inn because people who are staying there where they can kind of eat and drink while they're there. So smaller scale than a tavern, but it's there. And the two elves kind of come in and are looking around a little, still a little cagey.
Mhm.
So you're
Can
downstairs. The other three, you guys are all like upstairs. The two boys are in another room getting changed. So all of these things are all kind of like lining up together now. Uh, go for it, Jen. What were you gonna say?
sorry, can I make a perception check, see if anyone's listening to us?
Yes, absolutely.
Can this be searching?
Yes. Oh yeah.
17.
Yeah, yeah. No, you feel pretty confident. There is a gentleman who is sat in one of the corners, and there is currently two empty glasses and half of another. He's just there by himself, who is like leaning back and like has a hand on his temple and look like he is trying really hard not to be asleep, but is struggling.
Is he a
Um,
regular here, basically.
Yeah, quite possibly. Has a vibe. There is a group of 3 young human women who are sitting around having a giggly conversation with one another, where they're trying to like hush and be quiet. You're not sure because one of them keeps like looking back at the barman,
Sorry, isn't it? Oh,
and
okay.
it's either no. Well, they funny you should say that. So they're having this conversation, and it's like they're trying to be quiet, and one of them like shushes them and then looks back at the bar. You can't tell if it's like they're trying not to be heard by him or they've already been told, "You're being loud. Could you please be quiet?"
Oh, this poor man. Okay.
No, so this is the barman who's behind
Yeah,
the
yeah.
bar. Told them
That's
like,
what I
can you just yeah, with the young girl giggly energy. But as the people walk in, sure enough, as Harry walks in, there's that giggle of when somebody who looks like Harry. For reference, guy, he definitely looks. He's got like
Oh, look,
K-pop
that
idol
one.
vibes, but like the bad boy kinds, where he's got guy liner on. It's the best way I can describe Harry. Men, right?
Oh my
Don't you
god.
love it when
Just the
men? So he
giggle
walks
guy
in
for a
and they
second.
all like.
See, God, so attractive. Gosh, make the ugly up a little bit. Jen's absolutely taking every moment to just
Yeah.
mess with him a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
He while he was all happy playing a part, there's something about you're getting the impression by the look on his face when that happens and people get like all giggly and like gooey-eyed with him. He doesn't seem very comfortable about it, which is
Yeah.
you can store that bit of information away in your head. It's
Oh,
just
I
like
absolutely
yeah. What do you need from me now, Jen? Shall I keep these guys entertained down here? And he'll look to the 2 elves who have gone to try and find a table.
Yeah. Sorry.
Keep
Okay.
yourself together, Genevieve.
Oh, it's
You have
really
done
fun.
so well so
I can
far
tell you
today.
did it. Oh, okay. So let's talk to them a little bit first. I do want to keep them here, but not under duress, you know. And I want to
Do you
see
want
if they
me
might
to go
join
up
us
to
upstairs.
the amount of information you're going to get out of them may change if I'm sat there with you.
I'll be honest, Ollie. The best way I work is to unsettle people. So they tell me more things and they don't know what to expect. But I will take your lead. Do what you think is right.
Okay. Do you want me to unsettle them? I don't know how comfortable I feel about that.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to make you
Okay.
uncomfortable. No, I want to make you uncomfortable, but not about something important.
Okay. I'll go. I can see if anyone's upstairs and let them know what's going on.
Yes, and maybe
I'll leave you to.
what the hell is his name? Healy Sotti's boy. Reigen. Someone else who is more perceptive as well. Maybe, but
Okay.
also to let you know, the moment you stop walking away, I'm going to yell about how nice your ass is.
You can see him like collect himself, process, accept,
I think
and like
Genevieve
his whole body language shifts, opens up a little bit about it, goes super confident and swagger again, gives you a wink, and clearly playing the part, turns around and starts walking away.
I'm so sad to see you leave, but I'm so happy to see you go.
There's giggling in the corner.
I'm even gonna look at the girls and just be like, it is that good, and just like wink and walk away.
Yeah.
And then I will join the elves and just now that I know no one's truly like trying to hear what we're trying to say and
Yeah.
the hot man has left, I will sit down and just like I said, my name is Jen and I do apologize. I uh wanted to be able to talk in a bit more free environment.
Okay. She eyes her male companion here.
Yeah. How should I put this? I wasn't lying. I am new here, but I have some interesting goals to accomplish,
Okay.
and happen to maybe overhear that y'all have some goals to accomplish in a similar area that I do.
She sits back a little now. Right. What did you hear?
Mm, just a place, and I may have a matched enthusiasm.
Okay. So you're here for that place too?
But for the record, there's no other strongholds that we can be confusing right
Nope.
now, right? Okay.
No.
Yes, indeed. Now, I don't know if we're after the specific same goals, but I imagine our paths may, converge to help each other out.
What is your goal?
Well, my friend's favorite color is blue, and I hear they have some very wonderful things there that they may not need.
You're a thief.
Ugh, I am offended now.
You are the liberator of items.
That is slightly better, yes. And I see
Okay.
you are, clever in your own ways. And I'm gonna notion down, like with my eyes, to the knife she was trying to stab me with. Yeah.
Okay. And all right. So you have an interest in stuff. What are your feelings towards the people that reside there?
Can I tell anyway? She said people.
She seems to be implying Templars.
Well, no, did she like spit
Oh.
out the word? Yeah, that kind of thing.
She's trying really hard not to have a bias in her voice. It seems to be struggling.
Yeah, I was about to say, because like the thing is, I don't mind doing another empathy roll, but like I'm absolutely picking apart. Genevieve would be picking apart everything she says and the way she holds herself, I think even the mask will drop just a little bit in this moment to get a point across, get the point across here. Let's just say I have a complicated past with them. And if something happened or they were on fire, I would not piss on them to get it out.
So, if they were aggressively and methodically returned to the light of their maker, you wouldn't have a problem with that?
Not even a little bit. And like I said, my main objective, little bit different. But I also know the importance of helping out when you need to.
Okay. All right. Then perhaps we have some things to talk about. Maybe not here.
Yes, actually, I really just wanted to see your interest. And now, I know I'm a little bit different than what you expect. I just want to say I have, honestly, quite a number of friends with me, and they are also different than what you expect, I would say.
Do
And
they also feel the way you do about these people and that place?
Yes, probably much so. Probably
Okay.
more than me.
Then we should be okay with that.
So, any names I can call you by?
I'm Ailish. This is Owen.
Thank you. And it wasn't a lie. My name is Jen.
All right.
I'm not trying to see if they're lying. Just the only thing I do want to check is, I know you said she's struggling to hide it. Do I need to make kind of any insight check, or do I think I need to see if they're lying to me?
You're not getting that impression right now.
Okay.
It seems that she's quite forthcoming at the moment because her feelings on that particular matter are kind of coming through, even if she's trying hard not to.
Yeah, excuse me. That's what I want to just make sure.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
said she had great
Yeah.
enthusiasm for this, so I just kind of,
Yeah.
is it consistent?
Yeah, seems to be.
Well, if you are not shopping about it, we do have rooms upstairs. You're very welcome to come talk to all of us. but I don't want to overwhelm.
Should be fine. I've been through worse.
Okay.
And she kind of stands up and like pats like, well, more like slaps the upper arm of this guy, and he's like, okay. Gets up. Straightens his clothing. Now ahead of you, and just as the emotional moment and the feelings in the room of the three of you upstairs, a couple of things are going to happen. The door is going to open and Harry's going to walk in and just be like, you know, like when you can walk in and you feel a tense air, and immediately it's like, oh, and just as he's about to open his mouth and explain a little bit about what's going on downstairs and checking if everyone is okay, another door is going to open. And Griffin and Reagan are wearing the outfits that you gave them, Hattie.
Wait, is Jen up yet?
Not quite this second. There's
If
a
Jen's
moment where, like,
not here yet, no, okay, yeah, great. If Jen's not here yet, I hear the door opening from that side of the room. Get up and go. No, get back inside. Jen's not here yet.
Oh, what?
Now, shoot, get back
They
inside.
say, yeah.
Don't
They
make
sound
me mismatch
confused,
on you. Get back inside the room.
and it's like they're about to question you, and then you, perhaps surprised by the fact that the person closing the door on them is Craig, who stands in front of the door and crosses his arms.
I look at him and I am just kind of like, okay, I'll give you that.
He tries really hard to maintain eye contact with you. It's a challenge, but he does so. He's feeling brave. And then
just stare him down.
Yeah, that's enough to allow a little bit of linger time for eventually. Yeah, Jen can come upstairs.
I think,
yeah.
So the last thing that Aisha said to me is, you know, I've seen worse or been through worse.
Yeah.
And I think Jen even opens the door like, not that I doubt you, but I will just say, even sometimes I don't know what to expect when I get back.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be fine. She'll just swing open the door.
So you head upstairs and head into the room. So there's a moment where, like, Harry is about to explain what's going on. Is like, what the hell is going on? You there, like, oh, doors closed. There's this whole like stand-up of people either sitting in feelings or dealing with that. Harry's not sure what to say. Jen comes in, and these two elves that the rest of you do not know come in, and you will see the guy sort of like flinch a little and take something out of his pocket, and it's a small like metallic device, which is quite beautiful actually, because it looks like it's got some filigree and designs and patterns on it, and there's something inside that's like glowing, and he looks at the girl and she looks at him.
I see. Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
And he,
I think okay. If Genevieve knows what this is or has an idea,
Mhm.
I can guess.
Mhm.
Let me get conspiracy. Let me.
What's Jen thinking?
I can't help it. I think because she's gonna see this, because I think she was about to be like, "Hello, I made new friends," and then sees that and just like, I told you the favorite color was blue.
And so all of you can now see, I put pictures in Discord for you guys, but there's the elf who just saw the never been buyer. You're correct. Listen, my hair is saying bisexual rights. I got you. This petite, but definitely has a lot of, you know, some people just have a lot of like feisty energy to them. Seems to have those vibes going on. Who is looking at this male elf who has like long straight black hair and nice-ish looking clothes, standing there looking at her, looking at so they're kind of like looking at it, and then she turns around, closes the door, and just looks at the rest of you and says, "You're not safe here, you know that, right?"
Plainly. Hi,
To us?
Iviana, and Iviana's gonna go into host mode,
Yeah.
full on,
I
like
need some water. You want to speak? Yeah.
Burlesqua's coming out, like it is full on, just please be seated, just general talking,
Mm-hmm.
maneuvering, even like body blocking at
I
times
like
to give floor space if necessary.
Uh-huh.
Um, but
I I mean, Maddie's gonna respect Aviana, like, and help that as I want to be honest with you. Emily like dropped some pictures in our
Oh, I
our
know.
Discord. Um, uh,
I did.
Maddie's just gonna go over to the woman and be like, so you're on our side?
Yes, I suppose I am. Who is it, by the way, that
Mm.
is in the most danger? Let's call it that.
Oh, that's a loaded question. And she's literally gonna look at all of them and just be
Yeah.
like, all of them
Is that
almost?
the thing that he has that lets us know
Yes,
when there's
I
someone
could,
who's
Yeah.
friend of the
I could
fade?
guess. What was
uh,
the favorite color is blue?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there's a few friends here. Um,
Oh. Oh. Wow. Okay.
One more
Uh
than you think there are.
uh-huh.
But
So
I
yes, we're
suspect
on
that
your
actually
side.
the people in most danger might be the two of you. Great.
Maddie, please don't scare
She
them.
you
We
know what?
just
She like
became friends.
there's like a hard look between her eyes and yours. You can see that she's full of a bit of fire, and then she's gonna smirk a
Yeah,
bit
no,
at that.
I mean the
Yeah,
look. I
yeah. She'll smirk.
okay.
Fair
Like
enough.
I think like she smirks and like Maddie kind of gives her a cockeyed grin and says, I mean, I'm always up for a bit of sparring if you wanna kick my ass though.
All right.
I clearly
Maybe.
got you on a weird day.
Yeah.
She's just gonna walk away a little bit. I'm just going to get out of this.
Yeah.
Eviana's just opening a bottle of just shakes her head and is just pouring.
um. This sparring can probably wait. I have some answers. And it's gonna look at Genevieve. That I need
Right.
from you all because I hear you're here for a purpose, and I would like to know what that purpose is, and if it is going to align with or get in the way of what we are here to do. She's gonna...
Um, well, we
Oh, we wanna
are
fuck up those Templars and rob them.
that as well. Okay. Uh, just Eviana just yes, we are attempting to steal things very important to them.
You just see Genevieve's throw shit. Like, why do I do this? I feel trying so hard. I keep forgetting about all of you are just blurting everything out. What has happened?
Be fair, I did not, but if the
Oh,
information is out there,
let's flash back to the ship, shall we? Hmm?
that was necessary to make sure we didn't die. Let's remember that.
Fine.
Okay, are we all in agreement that if that place was to go up in a blaze of glory, like the
It would be
fires
the
that they burned
glorious
their little
day in the
Andraste
world.
with, there wouldn't be a problem? It wouldn't be a problem, right? That wouldn't
Absolutely
be a
not.
problem.
No.
Okay, cool.
And in fact,
Oh,
would
yeah,
you?
like no problem. Actively a benefit.
Yes, and in
Great.
fact, if you hmm, are we? Well, let's see. Would you like to join in the story we are making for it?
Well, sure. I
Okay,
guess,
excellent. So
yeah,
there's going to be ghosts and goats and just absolute fire now.
ghosts and goats. Okay.
Oh, I
Uh,
told you I made plans, everyone. I'm so excited.
guerrilla warfare tactics. That's what we're trying to do. Cause a disturbance, make them expect a bigger thing coming at them while we sneak in and steal what we came for.
Okay. Well, we have to get in there.
However,
Oh,
I
no, sorry. Uh,
I'm sorry, I think our connection's a bit
yeah, I think you're also like, but it's okay. We've been managing. We need to get in there and find one person particularly, and um, well, give him the consequences for some actions, and then take out as many on our way out as possible. Ideally, we'd. Oh, hello.
This cat
Ideally,
is
we'd.
following me everywhere.
You've
I
made a
think
new
I've been
friend.
adopted.
Yeah. Ideally, with us making it out of there, but we're both okay if that's not the case, as long as he dies.
All right. And is it just you two, or
Yes.
okay?
There's a heavy weight to that word, and the other elf looks a little sad.
I'm sorry.
Hmm?
Uh, I Evian will just kind of raise a drink. Well, let us drink to those we've lost and to showing the Templars what we're made of.
Not that I'm not going to toast, but it's like 2 in the afternoon, Aviana. Good God. Make God bless.
You are in Wycombe.
I know. I'm just
Yeah.
messing with you.
that was Ailish bringing that up of like, she's good. If there's ever any place that you're okay to day drink, it is Party City Wycombe. Yeah. A toast sounds good. Oh, wow.
I don't know why it keeps
We
following
all
me.
agree.
Good kitty. Okay.
And so as we kind of agreed to perhaps have a little drink, maybe get to know one another and have a party and help the people who are in the closet, we're gonna take our break there. We're gonna go for about 10 minutes just to stretch legs, hydrate, what have you. Hope you're all doing okay. I'm aware that there was some heavy topics. We were able to check in with each other about safety and consent and stuff like that, but look after yourselves as well. We will see you in 10, everybody. Bye. Hope y'all managed to get a good break. We certainly did. I don't know if you can see the subtitles about what we were talking about. Healthy stuff, Dragon Age. There has been some thirst, there has been some emotions, and many talks about giving Templars what they deserve. That's what we're here for at All Templars Are Bastards. We are all now, most of us, certainly the active people here in this game are in the same room. Some have just divulged something pretty heavy and emotional, and then two elves who are distracting for some came into the room. It's revealed there are mages here. Their mission seems to align. And there is two of the NPCs that y'all have that's part of your organization currently closed in a room where they can't get out right now because Craig is making sure that door is kept closed, and is standing guard. He's not entirely sure exactly what Matty is going to do, but was impressed enough by her command of the two of them that he would like to see that enacted. So, that being said, what is going to happen next in this room? What are people going to suggest or bring up? There's several things that need spoken about and some plans to lock people in rooms together. Was it 7 minutes in heaven?
Yeah, so I think yeah, no,
Oh, my
exactly.
minute
So
until we open
I
the
think
door.
like Maddie is gonna say is gonna look at Jen and Aviana and just be like, so in terms of the plan later, I need both of you to just go check some of our supplies for later in that room over there. And she gestures to the one that Craig is guarding. I trust your expertise. It's rogue shit, and she kind of like does like a meaningful look at Aviana. Specialist knowledge that I feel like you are gonna be better at than me.
Did you just admit that I am good at something?
Are you sure you're okay, Maddie?
No, I said that it was rogue shit and that I don't do rogue shit. I'm fine. I'm so fine. I'm great. Actually, I'm just not as skilled in the arts of sort of frilly deception as your legion is.
You know I'm gonna check it, right? Just-
But you have both like
Okay.
encountered people. Yeah, of course. Like
Can I
Mhm.
please do an
Yes.
empathy roll?
Oh,
Okay.
for
Should I
sure.
roll,
Yeah.
like,
Listen, deception. Yeah. It's in
Yeah.
persuasion.
16.
Cool, cool, cool,
There you
cool,
go.
cool.
Communication. Okay.
I'm gonna be in on this
Consistently.
roll too.
Yeah. What roll
Yeah.
do we need to make?
So it's a perception empathy if you're trying to
17.
figure out what's
Oh wait, no, I
I
totally
rolled.
rolled.
Yeah.
that's twice there. Yeah, that first one was a 14. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
Wow,
that
we
it's
literally all got 16s to your 14.
No, I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
God damn it.
Okay.
okay. So I think a lot of you are aware that like there's something.
Oh, you know what? Like if
Yeah.
Flora's trying to figure out what's going on,
Uh-huh.
Maddie is gonna give Floor a meaningful look and just kind of like tilt her head towards the door, and the look is gonna be like to Floor, like, go with me on this.
Like
Now,
trust
I know
me
that Floor
on
doesn't
this.
have like a
Yeah.
great deal of reason to go with me on this, but like I think Maddie is like for maybe the first time in her entire acquaintance with Floor, she's looking very playful and kind of smirking a bit, and Floor can tell that like whatever this is, especially if like you rolled higher than me, whatever this is some kind of joke that Maddie wants to play specifically on Jen and Aviana.
Mm-hmm.
I think Floor would go open the door to see what's inside.
Okay. Are you gonna ask Craig to step out the way?
Craig knows enough to step out of the way.
I'm gonna give Craig a nod.
Okay. He'll step out of the way.
Floor just looks in, looks at Reagan, looks at Griffin, closes the door again. They are just trying to decompartmentalize. So this is fun. Um, I mean, it's not whipping whipping cream and feathers or anything, but it does look like
Well,
it does
then
need
what
your
fun is it?
attention.
I would rather have that. I'm gonna look at Aviana and just be like, look, she's obviously trying to do something. I think we can both tell this. And if it's really terrible, I will stab her later.
I can heal. I'm okay with that. Okay.
And I will heal it.
I will
Hmm.
say that the elves are kind of watching you guys, and Ailish is just like eyeing you all and just gives a little nod at the statement of like, if this is a problem, I'll just stab her, and is like, I respect that. Y'all are fun.
Uh, And
This is
on
a
that note, actually, all of you be nice to all your friends. Okay? Well, as nice as you can be.
Yeah, you got it.
Walk over to the door. You'll be fine, don't worry.
yeah. Okay. Viana, do you go?
Yeah, I will be behind Jen. Like I'll let Jen lead the way, but I'm just after Theowen's last thing. She's like, "Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice," and she's going to the closet.
And,
So
and that's again like what Genevieve was doing. She's just like, look, they're up to something, obviously. Okay. And you know what? We can get them back. But it might be fun. We need some fun.
yeah,
You
yeah,
say as you're saying that as you walk into the room, assuming that
Mhm.
there's going to be stuff, right? Whatever you're about to deal with, we can have fun. We'll enjoy this. It'll be fine. You'll be good. And so, like, attention is on Aviana as you walk in the door, and it is not until the two of you turn around.
Hold the door, Craig.
Yep, he's gonna immediately close the door behind you guys before you even have a chance to like process what you're seeing. And you can see now, kind of like towards the back end, Griffin is leaning against the wall, looking a bit stressed because he is being closed in here this whole time. And Reagan is are like pacing around a little bit, and they both kind of like look at the two of you as you come in. Slam, and the door is closed behind them.
And as I think as soon as the door slams, Flora is going to start like casting the glyph of healing across of it. I told her I was going to lock her in a room when she didn't talk to him.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so now,
No, I
as
mean, I
that.
really think at this point that's the only thing we can do.
um
Yeah, that's going to hold unless they break that door down. So
Can
so
I get a glimpse at this room real quick?
yes. So as the
Avoiding the
two of you
obvious
kind of
problem.
come in, yeah. So it's not
It is obvious.
particularly large. Yeah, it's
Is there
whatever
another
sort of
door?
I wish
no.
fine.
Okay, that was my main question.
Nope. This
Um,
is very much I love that the glyph of ceiling is there. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like where people would come to like refresh themselves if you're gonna have like a bath. You can have a bath a lot of places, especially in this sort of like time-ish, you would have the bathtub brought up to you and then ran should you want it, and this would be the room where they would put it. So it's not huge. And both of them kind of look relieved at first with the door being open at first.
Yeah.
Will kind of both stand to attention. The two of you come in looking a little shocked, and then the door closing again, and then very obvious magic being cast on the door. And Griffin is
huh?
just gonna like look at you guys and then like roll his eyes a little bit and shake his head and be like, for fuck's sake. Okay. Hi.
Okay, sorry.
Um
Let me get this
And
out
they're
for a minute.
wearing the outfit that was described. Do you want to just describe again for anyone that is joining us in the second half, Matty, that did not
Oh
get to
yeah,
hear
yeah,
the
yeah, for
description
sure.
the first time around? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, so for sure. So anyone who's just joining, we've got like a kind of sheepskin vest thing going on, no sleeves, hanging open, no catches to do it up. Completely bare chested underneath with like some kind of grease and oil over the kind of like chest muscles and arms. And then we've got like kind of those like medieval booty shorts that you'd see on like troubadours and stuff. Which are kind of like, like stop at like the high thighs. And then like lower down it's like kind of gladiatorial like strap sandals. So like I mean like in terms of what we're seeing here, we've got thighs, we got chest, we got arms. There's not a lot left to the imagination.
Also, for the
Yeah.
record, these two men are incredibly attractive, like
Mhm.
objectively
Yeah,
speaking.
yeah. We have
Sorry.
two rather a human warrior who has aspirations to become a Grey Warden, and then a rogue who is elf blooded, which I just think makes people hotter.
And he's got a beard.
And he's
Like we
got a
have
bit of a
to
beard, yeah, sandy blonde kind of
we
beard.
have
Yeah.
to put
And
that
some
on there.
scars on him. Which, you know, adds to the, because there's scars on his chest as well, which you guys don't often get to see because not a lot of the time he is clothed. But he does carry some scars also. But the two of them are just kind of looking at each other and then looking at the two of you.
Genevieve is definitely laughing first, just like I can see what happened.
Apparently, this is our goat herding outfits. I would like to see when you say those sort of like troubadour booty shorts, it makes me think of the ones that they put, you know, the art of a Astarion and the one that says "Thou art nasty" on it.
Yes.
I'm
Huh.
assuming not in those colors, but yeah. So they're just looking a bit uh a little perturbed.
I think
For
Aviana just
Mhm.
stares, slow blinks, and she's in full Ferelden regalia, which is a lot of layers.
Yeah.
So she's just gonna take a shawl off and be, does anyone want one of these? Seems like you guys might be a little cold.
Reagan is gonna like snatch it, but like not necessarily put it on at the moment. And Griffin is just gonna look between the two of you. I originally thought that the piss take was because of what we were wearing, and now I'm seeing that there is even more elaborate layers to this plan,
Oh, so many.
especially
Ugh,
given the
she
magic
can't
that was
hide
just
shit.
cast on
Oh,
that
feels
door.
great. Mm.
What?
If it makes you feel any better, gentlemen, I will slap her later. And in an aggressively strange and confusing way. So
I might just join in.
Okay.
now, at least I wanted to see what concoction she had come up with. And I have to say, it is quite amusing. Are you both alright?
I'm not going to be wearing this when we have to enact this plan. I feel like, I mean, it might get a particular type of reaction out of the Templars, but we're meant to be doing this at night.
I mean,
I
I
don't know
have
why
to
the
admit.
oil was necessary.
Please stop. It's so hard not to laugh. You both look fantastic, but I agree. We will help you out in this manner. Oh goodness. Oh my god. Okay, anyway. Um I'm assuming they are up to something in this moment.
Uh-huh. Um, well, there's not even anywhere for us to sit in here. Griffin is looking stressed.
Okay. Oh,
Griffin, it's going to be alright.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure that it will.
It'll be okay. Would you like my shawl?
No, I'm fine, honestly. I'm comfortable in my skin. Thank you.
I think
But
she like inadvertently raises an eyebrow, like not going to say anything. Okay. Well, the unfortunate part of this mess is that they have magically sealed the damn door. So,
mhm.
unless you have another way out of here, I can't fix that.
Well, I'm going to suggest we do our own pranking. And why don't we
Yes.
make a show of what they think there was going on in this room?
Hmm. I am always down for that.
Okay.
Eviana, what like explosive things can you do? And she's gonna and Jen goes immediately into plot mode of just
Uh-huh.
like
Yeah,
epic
and
or legion proportions.
yeah, Griffin seems along for the ride with this. Like he's totally fine with doing this because in many ways he's had his conversation with you, and although like obviously there's some things that were still left sitting in a way, um, he's more comfortable than Reagan is right now. Who's just very quietly like at the back, still looking a little pressed.
can I? I'm just gonna turn towards the door, and I'm
Mm.
going to say, uh, Floor, I will do what you want me to do. I just don't want an audience. Just let the rest of them out, please.
Oh. And I think she's like kind of like looking at Reagan and all of them like and Griffin just going, I have clearly missed something. I'm sorry I was busy doing our damn job, but what the fuck is going on?
Uh, I think that Griffin is going to lean closer to you. There's only so much you can hide your voice in here. You're all very in a tight space together, and just be like, I think they need to have a conversation not too dissimilar from the one we had recently.
Okay. Okay. Um. Okay. Like she, for one moment, she is at a loss for words. Like, okay.
Uh-huh.
Also, we should definitely talk again. But
Yeah.
what would y'all like to do to literally everyone else in our party after this? Actually, also, we picked up 2 other people, and she's gonna give the rundown very quickly to Reagan
Mm.
and Griffin to
Mhm.
try to calm their nerves because they're freaking out.
Yeah. Flora, you may hear the plea from Aviana at the door there. You can hear the rest of you can hear that there's like some conversation happening that sort of like muffled voices behind a thick wooden door, but you will hear that plea at the door. Do you do anything to respond to that?
Maddie, I don't think they're going to do much of anything in there if everyone's together.
No, I think you're right. It is a problem with the plan. I wonder if we can make like a second room somehow. Uh, but I mean, hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. Mostly, I just wanted to make them a little uncomfortable and embarrassed, and also to just sort of sear that image into their minds. And I feel like that part has been accomplished. And I'm going to enjoy dodging Genevieve trying to stab me for the next few months. Part of me thinks if we can find a way to let Jen and Griffin out without letting out Aviana and Reagan, that could be the solution here. You know, she's Elysian. She can do what she wants with that mental image, but I feel like Aviana needs a little bit more time to let it, like, simmer.
You can just employ Craig to be like you're like a wrangler, like a sheep wrangler, where you're letting only certain sheep are allowed out of the pen at a time. Yeah.
Let Craig be the actual goat herder.
Yeah. He's an honorary goat herder right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Aviana, my dear, I don't know what's up to you. I'm just going to ask, are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm.
Don't lie to me. I'm probably the one person that would be able to tell very easily. Don't make me work for it.
I've run away from a lot of things. I've ran away my entire life. It's very hard confronting things. So,
You know, we are both similar in that way. I just do it a little different. And I think she's done this before, and again, if you allow it, she's not going to try to invade your space, but I think she kind of grabs your hair and ponytail, like in a, just kind of a brushing, soothing way, and just, Iviana, we always have choices, even if people try to make them for us out of goodness, what they think is right, whatever it may be. But you can make your own. And you have my full faith at all times. And if you ever need anything, you can let me know. And regardless of how fucking silly this is, which is very great, honestly, I'm going to remember this. And I am, by the way, gentlemen, trying very hard not to give you compliments to make you fluster, but I think you have 3 champions of you in this room. I know you and Griffin are good friends, which I'm very happy about. And Reagan has always been lovely to you. And you have me on your side at any time. So, I will take your lead on what you want to do here.
well, frankly, I don't think Floor's gonna let me out of this room until words are had. So I would escape when you can.
Griffin is going to come up just behind the two of you and lean down to you, Aviana, and just chin on your shoulder, which is kind of ridiculous because you can feel the fucking stupid furry waistcoat thing that he's wearing on your back. I can send in a bottle of booze.
Sure. Why not? Why not? This has just gone. I had a plan. I had a plan. And then I got locked in a room and this happened. But
You know,
okay,
I'm
I'm just gonna
gonna
do it
knock on
right
the
now.
door.
mm,
Oh, sorry.
Reagan,
mm.
I
What?
like you. I do. I really like you. I am terrible at words, even though it doesn't seem like I am, but I don't make choices a lot, okay? And so I run away from choices because that's easier because I've had choices made for me my entire life, every second of it, okay? So I don't know how to do that. And when I'm faced with it, it's terrifying. And I'm sorry that
Reagan is gonna. Oh, no.
I think she's just gonna keep talking until
Yeah,
it
Reagan's
stops.
gonna like look up at you and just say, "Well, will the choice to stay and speak to me be a little less terrifying because I'm dressed like this?"
Honestly, it makes it even worse. It makes it so
Okay.
much harder.
Shall I put
I
you in shawl? I feel like if I put your shawl on, it's just gonna make that
I'm gonna take my
worse.
shawl off and just
Yeah,
be like,
just like Leonardo. I,
It's fine. Everything is fine. It is fine. And she's just gonna hit the door. Let them out now.
Okay,
Fine.
in response to this, like Maddie is gonna knock on the door and say, hey, Elysian, we will let you out on two terms. The first is you have to give that Grey Warden a detailed compliment. The second is that you cannot let Aviana or Reagan escape this room. If you accept these terms, you can stab me as many times as you want.
I'm gonna look at Aviana because there's definitely now the worst mischievous smirk on Genevieve's face. Ultimate gremlin mode is activated. Like, Aviana, like I said, I will take your lead. What do you want me to do?
As I said, I will not be let out of this room. I got the 8 to Venture word on that. So, um, just go.
You want me to accept? Okay.
It, yeah.
Okay. Griffin, are you going to be okay?
I will be perfectly fine.
Okay, we go.
Oh no, we're gonna let Griffin out too.
Oh, no. I just mean, I hope you're ready for what you ask, my dear.
Mhm.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Please let me out of this room. Oh, it's so horrible in here with these gorgeous men, especially Griffin is just so, oh, cat's radiance. And she is going to like get into R-rated. Like, I'm not going to put it on stream because I want to get TOS. But
Ah.
like, it is just horrific detail that nobody ever wanted to hear.
Mm. Mhm.
Oh, it's just, yes. Down
Whatever
to
Griffin
like,
was anticipating to happen in that moment, that was not it.
nope.
I I just want to say if anyone can match an Orlesian rogue in terms of sheer filth, like it is a circle mage. So at some point in Jen's like tirade, like Maddie's just gonna be like she's just grinning like whilst this is happening, and she's gonna be like, I honestly think he has the flexibility for that. You should try it. And like various like other like heckling whilst this happens until she's done.
Mhm. Oh yeah, and that's like Genevieve again, like her MO to how she does things is to just debone people and like just up the ante way more like sooner than they expected. And so yeah, it's bad.
Oh, you want detailed. I
Yes, we
can do
went detailed
details.
from head to toe, like to little toe, in fact. Like,
I feel like there's a point where like the door does creak open and they just keep going, both of them.
oh yeah, And then once it's finally like open all the way, she's gonna just grab Griffin and be like, "Was that good enough, Maddie?"
I think that's acceptable.
With that last like turnaround before the door closes again, I'm gonna lock eyes with Aviana and just be like, "Don't worry. They think it's only going to be months. It will be years. Good luck, my friend. Let me know if you need anything."
Yeah.
And she will actually even lead Griffin away from this moment.
Yeah, he's gonna go away. He'll take whatever like complimentary jug of water you guys have in this room. Just be like, I'm gonna need this. Just follows you. Doesn't even bother getting changed because he's
Fully
like,
give
what's
him a
the
flask
point?
of whiskey.
Yeah. He'll appreciate that and just
So
follow.
just like Antivan whiskey, just flask of
Yeah.
whiskey as he walks past. And
Yeah.
just kind of a soldierly pat on the shoulder.
And he's just gonna follow you. And he doesn't mind what he's dressed as and the fact that you're taking him out of this room because you could be around the general public at this point. And I think he's like, you know what? I'm beyond. Yeah.
I'm
Aw.
going to get him a like private room. I will pay for it, whatever you
Yeah.
need. But yeah, like just get him clothes. Find his clothes. I think I could find his clothes pretty easily.
Yeah.
And just get him there to decompress. And then we will talk, but I will bow out for now.
Okay. Aviana.
Eviana's just gonna stand like at the door and just say, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. Just in general, I suck at this. I'm really terrible. And I let it go on too long as far as like waiting around and running, and I do like you a lot. You mean a lot to me.
I like you a lot too. I think we were going at an okay pace.
I thought so
You
too.
know, like I know, like it was never like overt or anything, but
That's what I thought too. And then everyone's just like, you have to say stuff, and she's just pacing at this point in the closet, and she's just fully like masked down. Just
yeah,
I just I'm she's just pacing,
yeah,
just still.
yeah. And he lets you get it out. You know, he doesn't step in the way of female rage and frustration because you know he's a good boy. Um, but eventually you're gonna like come past him, and he'll just like catch your hand like so gentle. Like put the hand in front of your hand so that your hand bumps into his instead because he knows better than to like hold at you because that could hurt you and he knows that. Just says, hey Aviana,
Yeah,
can I kiss you?
yeah. I'd like that.
Cool. We don't need words. We don't need things to be complicated because there are other ways of showing our feelings. And he'll let you do the coming to him so that he's not crowding your space, and then yeah, he'll give you a kiss, all right.
Yes, she will definitely take him up on that offer.
Mhm.
I think like in the background she just puts a silence spell up, like, you
Yeah,
pervs.
you've not earned the right to listen to this. Yeah. Okay. Very good. So you two will express your feelings through gesture and not words. Amazing. Okay. Out in the main room while that's going on. Whatever's going on in that room is quite quiet.
We all saw the flash of magic. We know.
The circle mage is like, I have seen that before. I know what spell that is. Maybe it's just so they can have a
Yep.
private conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it is.
Or
So it's
have
the two of
teenage brother
you,
once upon a time.
and Craig, who's standing at the door confused as to whether he needs to bodyguard it right now or not. Harry, who is sitting, he's kind of like disengaged from everything that was going on and is playing a game of solitaire with like the bedside table next to the bed where he has been sleeping, just drinking something casually. And the two elves who are now just sitting there like, not sure what's going on, but it's entertaining for them.
I want to look at the elves and say, sorry about that. We had a little domestic discord that we needed to repair. Speaking of which, by the way, if you want to survive your trip into Bloody Vengeance, I'm a pretty good healer and I don't have to use magic if you're not comfortable with that. So I'd be very happy to accompany you and stitch any wounds. In the first instance, I might need to stitch some wounds as a result of this one, and she gestures towards where Jen has gone. But after that,
Well, thank you for letting me know, but we're both more than comfortable with magic being cast around us.
oh great, then in which case I can make you survive wounds that no person should survive.
Even better. It's an impressive skill. The mage we knew was more about the
Not bad.
hurty than the healy.
You have to be born with the kind of magic that I have. But I believe a few of my friends are more on the expressive side of the magical spectrum. All I can really do is this. And Maddie just kind of lets her like healing aura bleed out like and kind of fill the room because she as much as she wanted to fuck with people, she didn't want to make people actually upset. So she's just kind of just generally being like, you know, we can all like
Calming vibes fill the room. Yeah. That's even more impressive. Did that fill this room?
Yep.
Nice. Congrats on the talent.
I am told I have healing hands. A magic touch, if you will. Gives great massages.
Did you hear that? And you can see him already like restraining himself, like, I don't need to know. It's good, isn't it? And nods a bunch to him. And he's like, yes, it's good. It's great. Thanks. Well done. Yeah, cool. Good. Healing hands. Well, I'll take you up on that if it's an offer.
Oh, it certainly is. I know that people who work with their hands and their bodies in the way that you two seem to often have stiff shoulders.
I'm intrigued. I'm more talented at finding people's spots where they're most tender. For good or for ill.
Yeah, I don't normally give people access to my weak points, but I suppose I could be persuaded
I mean,
in the right context.
Some weak spots are more fun than others.
Very true.
She'll look at the guy. He's just like, well, making friends is fun. I'm assuming that's kind of what's going on with the rest of you. Mhm.
Yeah. We're all, I think, a little jittery ahead of our mission, but I have something that I need to do. I'll be back here later if you have need of me for any reason.
Mhm.
And in the meantime, you can trust Flora and Harry. I know that the Elysian Genevieve would tell you this herself, but you can trust them with your life. And I realize that is not an easy thing to give. Still, hopefully it won't be too easy to find me, but I have dark places to be. Literally.
All right. Well, you seem like the smart kind. I don't know if you're the brains of the operation, but we have. I have. She looks at him and just is like, I have pretty good intel about where you all plan on going, so maybe we can strategize later.
Strategizing sounds good.
Okay, I'm gonna go and drink some brandy. She stands up and goes to her bag and like rummages around and pulls out a bottle of Antibes brandy. That looks very expensive. It doesn't look like she should have been able to afford that. Maybe she didn't buy it. Mhm. Flora, what have you been
Mhm.
doing in this moment?
Flora has gone to put on all of these fancy robes, like clearly to Vintercut that they have purchased this afternoon or have had with them. And they put them on similar to like how you see some soldiers like put on armor. They're not anything that fits them,
Mhm.
at least their personality. But like the creams and the blues are very much suited to them. They fix like the little family seal, this little like metal disc with the symbol, the sigil of their family on a space around their waist. And there is definitely a point where they are taking probably like 2 or 3 shots of whatever that alcohol was being passed around earlier was.
Mhm.
Very much gearing up to kill a man.
Yeah. Mhm. Okay. I think Hari might come over if you were anywhere where he can see. I don't know if you've gone somewhere very private or not.
Probably not. At
Okay.
this point, the only free room is
It's
currently
currently occupado, yeah.
yes.
So he'll come over and kind of sit down and like cross his legs under him. It's been a while since I've had to see stuff like that.
It's been a while since I have to as well. But you know, history has a funny way of catching up with you, whether you want it to or not.
What are the robes for?
Originally, we had to go lay tracks to show off nobles, so the plan to get things back would work, and then my family's guard decided to catch up with us.
I see.
They decided to bring with them probably the strongest way of making me comply.
Do you plan on complying?
It It would be easier if I did. I just let them take me back, and whatever happens, it would be safer for everyone else here. They didn't have to also deal with Winter guards hounding us before we do this. But that wouldn't save someone. And I've made that mistake already. Maker's hell. What happens to me? If I can make this right, I'm going to. If I kill a man and I die in it, it's fine.
Well, I understand that feeling, and I'm glad to hear of the decision that you were making. But I would really rather you didn't die doing that. And you happen to have someone pretty close by who not only is a talented assassin, but for a while made a sport out of killing cruel Tevinder Imperium assholes. If you're open to the help.
I mean, I think Raken's just a little preoccupied.
I think they're all pretty occupied, and I appreciate the fun that they're wanting to have tonight. To be honest, a lot of them could do with relieving the stress, and they deserve that. But I think for some of us, maybe snuffing out a cruel light from this world might be all the tension relief that we need.
So what? You're offering to help with that, pretty boy?
Sure as fuck am. I'd consider it a favor to me to let me do that.
Oh. So it's a favor to you.
It's been a while since I've spilled the blood of our countrymen. And quite frankly, I'm offended that someone would come here and try and take you away from us, so let's go and sort that out, shall we?
Yeah.
Listen, they're all busy. We could just slip out now.
Might as well. Aviana's the only one that knows where I'm going to be going.
Mm-hmm. How important is it to you to be the one to land the final blow? I'll hold back to give it to you if you want it.
Quite honestly, I was just going to poison his drink and have him choke on his own spit.
Ah, yeah, that's...
So it's not... How he dies, I don't care. The important is the other person survives.
Okay. That's fair. Normally, I like to be looking them in the eyes where they have that moment of realizing that everything that they've done in this world means that whatever they think pleasant afterlife is awaiting them is not going to be there for people as cruel as them. That regret. It's kind of satisfying.
Well, hopefully you'll end up tonight satisfied.
Sure.
All I know is after this, I'm going to get very, very drunk. That is what I need.
Okay. I plan on staying sober. You guys need the tension relief and deserve to have a night of taking the load off and having a drink, but I've seen what getting a little too drunk can do to a mage, so just gonna stay a little vigilant tonight. Just in case anyone needs the assist.
I'm sure no demons would dare mess with any of us with you around, Hari.
Yeah. Try and lock eyes with them and just like that a little bit more scary. All right, come on. Let's go kill a fucker. He's just gonna get up and like pull on a jacket, load up the hidden knives, and slink off into the shadows. We don't have to necessarily roleplay out the full scene of it, but I would like to know your approach. It seems that Hari is going to be in the shadows and not be involved until it's one of those swooping in and doing what needs to be done.
I mean, Floor is definitely positioning herself to just be, on a holiday, essentially doing what their family requested, and like their companion that they're accompanying, some foreign lady of who knows. Really, it's all the same thing. They're just gonna try and get as much information as possible. Just being as casual as they can.
Okay.
See if more people are coming, if this is their father's plan or their brother's plan.
Okay.
Let's know.
Yeah. When you eventually do find your quarry, the guard, if you're going in a, this has been such a fun time, like I'm so like, what's the plans? Do you have travel? What's going on? Like what's the deal? It's the situation. How are things back home? The guard doesn't do a massive amount of talking. You're not sure if that is a choice or whether he doesn't necessarily have the full you're not entirely sure. It feels like maybe he's just being cagey with you. And Quintus tries to answer your questions, but it's seems to be playing the same kind of stick that you are, in a way of like, oh yeah, everything's been great and so has done this, like, and doesn't necessarily have all of the answers to your questions. And you can tell there's a moment where he's going to lock eyes with you, and um it just looks like there is so much that he wants to say and can't, and he's not sure how to do this. There's like so many emotions going on there. You feel free to roll if you want, a perception, empathy, but
Please.
for sure. Oh,
That's a 21. This is someone
three
that
sixes. That was good.
that
Yeah,
Floor has known their entire life, though.
yeah, you sure have. He seems terrified. Real terror. And it's like a mix. In some ways it's almost like some aspects of you are also kind of terrifying right now because, you know, you are dressed in the clothing and acting the part and ready to go home, and he doesn't know what you've been doing or who you are right now or what any of this means. And everything about this is just making him uncomfortable. And it's like he's trying to like answer your questions in places where the guards aren't, but he doesn't know what to say. He's trying his best.
Can I tell if this is like a block magically? Something he is.
Not necessarily, no. This appears to be an emotional block. It's like he wants to talk, and, you know, by all accounts in this situation, as it should be, he is a slave of yours, and when you ask questions, he should be answering you. And he's trying to fulfill that and answer them in a polite way. But there's times where he's just not quite sure what to say. I'm sure everyone will be glad to have you back.
I'm sure they will. In fact, I think it's going to be just fine. In fact, I think at this point, I should introduce you to someone. It's a friend I've made. Ari.
He appeared like you're not fully aware of where exactly he came from. He just very silently, because, you know, I love in the game like proper shadow mode,
Mhm.
not just what this game gives rogues, but like shadow mode, just kind of appears behind this guard. Gives a little smile and then looks to Quintus and gives a nod of the head. You can tell, although it's not immediately visible right this second to like spook the guard, he has weapons in hand and is ready to act. And he hesitates just for a second, not hesitate necessarily, but leaves a window open to you in case there is something you want to do first. Is waiting for the nod of the head, basically.
I think Floor would just obscure this from Quintus's view.
Yeah. So you can try and get Quintus's attention to like keep his eyes on you. Mm-hmm. And as you do so, like looking up and down the area, because where you are, a proper struggle, a proper fight would draw attention. Harry knows this. Harry is used to operating in the shadows because of like you have rogues of different flavor in your organization. Some are
Mhm.
poisoners, some are going to be like break and entry experts. Harry is an assassin. And so very quietly, the next in the guard knows at like that you saying Harry, and he's like, "Ooh, what? Where?" The hair is grabbed, and without going into like massive amounts of detail, it is pulled back, and in the sudden shock, there is a blade silencing right precision with talent exactly where the vocal cords are so that not a sound is made. And you will slip to the ground. And Quintus is just like immediately, like you can just see every muscle in his body just almost like seize up, and that rising where you can tell that someone is about to like go into panic mode. Because when your muscle sees in panic,
Mhm.
they're not allowing your lungs to do what they need to do, which can trigger panic attacks. Just kind of looks over in the direction, like wanted to keep its eye attention on you. but is also aware of the slumping to the ground of this guard in this moment and really not knowing what's going on. And in a way, given your absolute crit, I'm also going to give to you the fact that he is now currently very afraid he is about to be killed as well. And Harry is just going to kind of like stand up, and his dagger of choice for this particular type of job is like one of those little like stiletto, like real thin, just like cleans it off on his black clothing, slips it away, and be like, we need to go.
We do.
And he's going to
And
start like patting this guy down to take anything on him that is signifiers, information, and money, and be like, he's just.
Four would start to reach out to like grab Quint's hands,
He will
but
flinch
also
at first, yeah.
like pull back. Look, we are in very different situations than we were a few years ago. Fuck my family. You're not when you're not going to be harmed. You have a choice you can make right now. You can walk away, find freedom however you can. I'm not
No,
in
I've
charge
fallen for
anymore.
that before. I'm not going. For that before.
I think it's a conversation we need to have later then, but you can walk away. You can come see
You're
exactly
feeling.
what I've been doing.
Mhm. You're feeling a spike that all mages who are trained know to worry about is when a mage reaches a level of emotional intensity that like you're gonna need to like circuit break this before it gets bad.
I think their first instinct would be just to like hug them and hold on.
Uh he'll close his eyes and is shaking in your arms and is confused about the feeling because he has likely never been hugged before. It just lets out a shuddering breath. And feeling that intense emotional energy and knowing that there are such dire consequences if it gets worse, perhaps your arms just tighten that little more, like a security blanket.
Whatever comes out of it this time, you're going to be safe.
Nothing is safe, Flora.
Safer. I'm not going to tell you what you have to do, but if you want to come with me, see the kind of people that are trying to make it safer.
And there's just a moment where that balance, that tipping on the scale, teetering on that edge, the show of physical comfort from you is enough just to pull it in your direction and not away from you and into the abyss. And his arms are just going to kind of wrap around you, and just like he's holding on for dear life. And Hari gives a bit of space, and then eventually is going to kind of usher for movement to happen. He will guide if you're not able to keep your eyes on where you are going. He will find convenient back alleys and dark spots for you to travel in is very much keeping his presence around the two of you to let you do what you need to do to just guide this terrified person in your arms right now safe as you start to make your way back to where you were staying. There's a body on the ground, you know. It will eventually get found, but
There's plenty of bodies on the ground at Wycombe.
there's very little left of that person right now that lets them know who he was, at least. And you know, some cities, a dead Tevinter person, it's not always met with negativity. But you're able to kind of make your way back into the space. As you're doing that, Matty, a couple of things. First of all, you were going to go and just kind of let your mental presence try and soak up the location. I would like you, it is going to be a magic roll, but if there's a specific focus you want to throw into that, I will allow for it.
A spirit, please.
Okay. Yeah, you're kind of doing what the old egg could sometimes kind of sort of do. It's a slightly different to his method, but yeah, letting your consciousness essentially shift from this very physical world and just kind of, it's almost like a sidestep into the adjoining spirit world around you. Okay, 15. You get a sense for this place, first of all. The city has quite a decent amount of people. It's not one of the biggest cities in Thedas, but the energy of the city feels big. And there's a positivity in the energy that you get from here that you don't get from Kirkwall. Kirkwall has a very unique emotional flavor profile. And this place is so completely different. There's obviously peaks and valleys in that. Your energy will kind of wash over it. Little sections where there is sadness or heartache or, you know, these things that all make up life. You're trying to extend yourself out and towards the stronghold, is that correct?
Yeah, I'm specifically kind of like along the border of the stronghold, like.
Yeah, you can put your energy towards that space and trying to look for weak spots. It's a little tricky, I will say, with the video because it seems to be a distance away. And you get the idea that the place feels strong. You know, this is a proper like stronghold fortress. You know, it's one of those like the redouts, and it seems that from the ground itself, from the earth, like you're getting a feeling underneath is the sort of softer side to it is the best way to give it, because I think, you know, when you're doing things within the Fade, it's a little different to the way one might study a physical building or you know, like looking at a map. It is the energy and the memory of a place and the building itself and the things that soak into it. And so there is definitely opportunity there. It's the getting there that might be tricky. And I suppose the thing to stop this place feeling so strong, you know, you get that feeling of like thick walls, the defenses, the people themselves. You're almost getting the image of like lots of people shield up in a row, that defensive nature to it. And, when there's a lot of defense up and above and around, sometimes you have to come from somewhere unexpected, from the earth itself, is kind of the vibes you were getting. And I will say that what will kind of ping you away from that, and whatever it is you're doing, and it's up to you if this is just like, if you keep yourself in an emotional state for this, or whether this is enough to like open your eyes. You feel coming close to your proximity, and like where where your people are staying, you can feel an intensity of negative emotion that you train yourself into knowing is a worry, something that you felt before, no doubt, in the circle, as you kind of feel that energy of this Quintus. It's that sudden immediate, like, oh, like like a ping on a radar almost.
I sprint in that direction.
Yeah. So you're suddenly like, oh, I need to get back to everyone. There is something, troubling. Mm-hmm.
No.
Mm.
It's not even get back to everyone.
Yeah.
It's go to the person
The
who is
location.
having the
Yeah.
problem. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's where I go. So
Yeah.
if that is back where everyone is, then great. But
Yeah.
if they're moving, like I am going towards wherever that emotion is coming from.
Yeah. You going towards them, you'll be coming up the back end of them, as they're kind of heading there. I'm assuming they're heading there. That's where Harry is guiding you anyway. Yeah. Okay. I think a few things will happen, and I'm going to give space for one of a couple conversations. We'll see if we have time. What have we got? 6 minutes. Let's see how we do. As the three who were coming from the assassination enter the building and start to head upstairs, Mata, you will be coming in around the back, and you can now see and feel the energy. In fact, other mages are now also feeling that energy from this hooded elf that is currently has Flora's arms. I imagine, are you still, I mean, not like full hug style, but like at
Yeah,
least,
but like
like just protective arms around this person. And as was a request, Jen, you are able to, should you wish, see them entering, see something clearly having gone down. Harry is gonna kind of like lock eyes with you. You know the look of someone who has been out doing the business that rogues do. He doesn't carry a lot of marks because it was a very exceptionally clean job, but
I get it.
it's just gonna kind of give you a look and then look at the pair that he is currently trying to usher.
I think Jen will definitely help. You know what I mean? Like, just
Yeah,
try to do whatever she can to help in that moment. But she definitely, I think she, not necessarily like yank floor aside kind of
yeah,
thing, but find a way to,
yeah.
squiggle in
I would say
and speak
there's
to her.
going to be kind of like a union of people, everyone kind of being like, oh gosh, like when somebody comes in through the door, there's clearly something has gone on, and there's
mhm.
a bit of a flurry of an energy. Aviana may still be. It's up to you if you come out the room or not. You might still be.
I would say as soon as that energy changes, there's a
Yeah,
moment where like she just looks at the situation at hand and like she's so happy, but she's so terrified because now she has
yeah,
something
yeah,
to go back to. It's easier to throw yourself into danger, but
yeah.
if you don't have that attachment, but yeah, she'll immediately just get herself composed and
Successfully
Yeah.
wake his ass up.
What I find quite entertaining as well is that you go to the door and just you know how to undo spells. So you're just like, nope.
Well, I don't even
You've
think
been
Fleur
able to do it
forgets
all
to go
along.
back.
Yeah. You're like, and perhaps Matty, you come in and you can see the person that is clearly in a lot of distress. I think mages know how to kind of group around, because uh definitely has been pulled back from like absolute like lights flashing danger zone, but is very on an edge where everyone knows that you have to work together to prevent it, because the alternative is potentially having an abomination on your hands, and nobody wants that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that will give Jen an opportunity to pull Floor aside slightly if you're willing to detach yourself from Quintus.
Yeah, she's not yanking, and it's not going to
Uh-huh.
drag you off far.
It's an encouragement to be like, we need to talk.
I think Floor would first look at Quint.
I don't want to. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Am I okay to? I won't be far.
Yeah. I think is kind of you know, in enough of his head to not necessarily be questioning that, and there's a lot of people that is just gonna kind of go where he's being directed currently. So
I know we're trying to do this fairly quickly, but can Genevieve tell kind of the emotions on your face, or I can roll an MP3 roll if you want.
I don't think it would be like the kind of every emotion is on their face. Floor tends to be a little private in the first place, but they wouldn't let Genevieve lead them like out of the room or anything, and Jen would definitely watch as like Floor make sure that this other person is in their eyesight.
Yeah, you'll make sure that he can see you. I can tell that obviously he's going through some things. Look, I just wanted to say to you something, honestly, before something big, but obviously something big has happened. Even if you do fight back, sometimes it's not your fault. Sometimes it just happens to you, whether you want it to or not.
I think plenty of things happen whether I want them to or not, Genevieve.
Hmm.
This is one of those times, though, that fighting back is a necessity.
I agree. But I think what I'm trying to tell you as someone who has been around a little bit longer, and she'll motion to like the crow's feet starting on her face, because she's about 40 in this timeline, and just just do the best you can. Because even when you fight back very hard, and I'm not saying don't, sometimes it doesn't matter. And just at least you hope intent matters, and that people remember that. So I think what I'm mostly saying is try to communicate it as much as you can. If you're sorry, say sorry. If you're mad, be mad. And let them know why. So that you can waste less time having people guess why.
That's not necessarily in my nature to do, but I think if
I know.
you will listen to your own words, maybe we can both try.
And I think, again, because Genevieve has this very strange like flip between for all of you, where it's like she wants to respect who you are and let y'all flourish the way you need to, but at the same time, let me help you when I can. And I think she kind of just brushes some hair out of your face and just let me put it this way. I exist in a very strange space. My skills are obviously not anything I've just said. But pick your moments, because you don't know when they're going to go away. Let me put it this way. I'm not a mage. obviously. But I know what you go through. In some ways. My younger brother was only 8 when he was taken from me. And I fought hard. I wasn't a child, I was 18. But even as hard as I fought, as broken as I was later, there was nothing I could do. And I just wish that, well, I hope that my brother knows that I loved him very much. And that I tried my hardest, even at the moment and afterwards. And 20 years later, I'm still doing it. And for the first time ever, you see Genevieve cry a little bit and see full mask off. I admit I'm scared. Please don't tell anyone.
I think we're all scared. Especially the more we start having to find things that we to fight for. I don't think any of us anticipated we'd be here, like 3 weeks ago.
I only mean, don't use this against me. I'll be very, very upset to have to do something to you, but just take it as you will, my dear. Okay. And I promise I work on it too, but I just choose my moments. Like this one.
I mean, maybe you should choose them better considering Griffin's in that really tight little vest.
You know, I truly wish that that's not happened. It's very complicated, to be honest. This poor boy. Making sure he decompresses. But
I don't think it's as complicated as you want it to be, either.
as someone who navigates lies like pleasing, yes, it is. Because in my world, it's very hard to know someone who they are. And very hard sometimes to tell the difference between who they are and who you think they are. And that boy, he's... Again, if you say anything to him, I will absolutely get back at you. And I think you might understand what I'm about to say, but I love him very much, but I want what's best for him. And I'm not a very good person.
I mean, neither of us are. But I don't think those two things are mutually exclusive.
They can be when you want the stories. So I think most people don't realize how epic stories are laced with grief and pain and despair. But anyway.
Then we won't be a story then.
I didn't say it was for me. But get back to your friend. It's obviously about to be very bad. Just, I will take your lead. Just let me know what you need.
Yeah.
Not sure of that myself, but Floor will just kind of go back.
Yeah. And as people rally together in this room to hopefully diffuse a potentially dangerous situation, and perhaps all of us reflecting on the reasons why those who would oppress us deserve being fought back against, to really seal home the message of this season, we will end our session there. And pick up next week with a little bit of emotion, and then maybe getting the justice that is very much needed and deserved. So on that note, we will do our outros, let you know who we are, who we've been playing, where you can find us. And then we'll do a little bit about what is going on the channel. But yeah, so I will start with myself. I am Emma, Hamlin on the internet. You can find me tomorrow back here on this channel with Eureka Stars, which has been it's so good, you guys. You really need to tune in. It is so good. It is also very emotional and very gay. And then on Tuesdays, you will see me on the transmissions, where we are also running a Dragon Age story, um, which is actually set right at the start of the Fifth Blight, where I am a GM. And then you will also hear me on the transitions wherever you catch your podcast for Black Teeth, which is using the liminal system. It is a folk horror set in rural North Wales in the 70s. It's also been great. So highly recommend checking all of that out. So players, if you can please let me know who you are, who you've been playing, and where we can find you.
Hello, everyone. I am Torin, or Torin Talks Creativity on the internet. I've been Genevieve Develop. Fucking mess. Anyway. Otherwise, I am actually also in the game tomorrow with Fate, which has been incredibly roller coaster and emotions and absolutely wonderful. Also, I am in Blood and Lyrium, which Emily mentioned. I am one of the players. I play Oriana, a very small cockroach of a mage, or sorry, rogue, and absolutely skitters everywhere. Otherwise, I am in other multiple games. One especially wonderful game, which will be our finale coming up this next Friday of Erevan, which I personally am not ready for. It is absolutely emotional, and it's about to get it's about to just the finale is gonna be great. And with our lovely, lovely GM, Angela from the channel as well. So that's me. Thank you.
Hi guys, my name is Alice. Tonight I was playing Floraneus. Um, we got some emotions to deal with after this. But where you can find me everywhere online at Alice Hart, or if the adult film star has stolen that from me yet again, even though I am the second most popular Alice Hart online over them, at Hellion Hart. Where you can find me next, outside of here on Sundays. In May, you can find me at Lost Caravan on May 21st playing Lancer, and then on May 25th playing Goblin Errands. Those are both going to be very fun games. I have a few other things that I cannot still talk about yet because they have not been announced formally, and I wish I could. But otherwise, you can find me on the Actual Play podcast, Welcome to Reddington. We're currently on a little bit of a hiatus because of life, but that is a great place to get caught up before we head into the last arc of season one. I am a producer, editor, and player over there, and it's a very queer, very fun little monster of the week actual play everyone I think should at least look into. Otherwise, that's me.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mary. I've been playing Aviana today, and we both use she, her pronouns. You can find me online on the Hell site at Nerd on Wheels 15 or everywhere else at the Nerd on Wheels. Now, I usually plug my shows, but Monday is a very special day for me and other people in my disabled community because it is Wishbone Day, which is basically OI Awareness Day, Osteogenesis Imperfecta is both the bone disease that I have and my character Iviana has. And Wishbone Day is the day that we get together and celebrate the triumphs and the hardships that come with the disease. So, if you want to learn about interesting bone disease that we really need help finding a cure for, or at least some better treatments for, go to the Osteogenesis Imperfecta Foundation.org. They've got a lot of great information and ways you can help if you want to.
I'm I'm Ella. My pronouns are she, her. I've been playing Maddie. Her pronouns are she, her. I make a podcast called Camlan. The final episode is out tomorrow. It's an audio drama. It's a post-apocalyptic audio drama inspired by folklore. But honestly, podcasts are forever. Tomorrow, like, celebrate Wishbone Day and learn some shit about a disability that you need to learn about, and do what you can to support. Give money if you can. Raise awareness if you can't. Give money. Please do. Yeah.
Wonderful. Y'all are so great. So in terms of the channel, we've already mentioned a few things here. So you know about Ariga Stars tomorrow. We know about that finale for Erewhon on Friday. Definitely go and check that out. We also has on Wednesday the Firefly show Into the Black with Anya. That is 1 p.m. Eastern for that one as well. And yeah, so it's exciting times all around. They're also taking in pitches for June, because there is Juneteenth and also Pride. So if you have a one shot inspired by one or both of those communities, and you have lived experience and you want to come and tell those stories, then check out either in the Discord or the social media for Girls Run These Worlds and pitch your story. There's a lot of wonderful stories to tell that involve those communities and stories that need told. So I cannot recommend it enough. This is a very safe and loving space. So 10 out of 10 do recommend. We are going to be raiding Mozzarella. So please do stay around in chat and give them a bit of love once we raid in. Throw some emojis their way, and just generally have an excellent week, everyone. And we will see you here for episode 9, penultimate episode next week. Woohoo! We will see you there, everybody. Take care.